The Anarchist Cookbook. When people talk about dangerous books, this one is usually mentioned first. The Anarchist Cookbook was written by William Powell, a young man influenced by the anger and unrest of the Vietnam War era. The book was banned and restricted because it contains detailed instructions for making explosives, weapons, and engaging in sabotage. Authorities feared it could be used as a real-life manual for violence rather than political expression. It was banned or heavily restricted in places like Australia and the United Kingdom and quietly removed from many libraries and schools in the United States. Over time, the book became a symbol of how information itself can be seen as a threat. Years later, Powell himself publicly regretted writing it. The Da Vinci Code. The Da Vinci Code was written by Dan Brown, and it didn't spark outrage because of violence, but because of belief. The book was challenged and banned in several countries for its portrayal of Christianity, Jesus Christ, Mary Magdalene, and the Catholic Church. Religious leaders accused it of spreading false history and blasphemy. It was banned or heavily restricted in countries such as Lebanon and Jordan, and strongly condemned by the Vatican. The story blends historical facts with conspiracy theories, suggesting that powerful religious institutions have hidden the truth for centuries. Whether readers believed it or not, the book forced millions to question authority and tradition. Naked Lunch. Naked Lunch was written by William S. Burroughs, and it shocked readers from the moment it appeared. The book was banned in both the United States and the United Kingdom for obscenity because of its graphic depictions of drug addiction, sexuality, and violence. There's no traditional storyline here. Instead, the book jumps through surreal, disturbing scenes that mirror the chaos of addiction and loss of control. Beneath the disturbing imagery is a critique of censorship, power, and systems that control the human body and mind. Its obscenity trial became one of the last major literary censorship cases in American history. Brave New World. Written by Aldous Huxley, Brave New World was banned or challenged in parts of the United States, Ireland, and India. Critics objected to its discussions of sexuality, drug use, and its criticism of religion and traditional family values. The book imagines a future society where people are genetically engineered and conditioned to obey, not through force, but through pleasure. Happiness is manufactured, individuality is discouraged, and freedom quietly disappears. Huxley's warning was clear, and that warning made the book unsettling enough to ban. The 120 Days of Sodom. This book, written by the Marquis de Sade, is one of the most heavily banned works in history. It was outlawed across Europe, the United Kingdom, and the United States for centuries because of its extreme sexual violence and cruelty. De Sade wrote it while imprisoned, and the story portrays absolute power taken to horrifying extremes. Many consider it unreadable, but some scholars argue it was meant as a brutal philosophical attack on tyranny and moral corruption. Even today, it remains restricted in many countries. Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer was written by Henry Miller, and for decades it was banned in both the United States and the United Kingdom for explicit language and sexual content. Courts labeled it obscene until landmark legal decisions overturned the bans and permanently changed free speech law. The book follows a struggling writer living in Paris, drifting through poverty, desire, and artistic obsession. Beneath the raw language is a deep exploration of personal freedom and rejection of society's expectations. Its eventual legalization became a major victory for literary expression. The Jungle. Written by Upton Sinclair, The Jungle wasn't banned for being obscene, it was attacked for being honest. The book was restricted in some U.S. schools and libraries because it exposed horrifying conditions in the meatpacking industry. Sinclair described unsafe food production, exploited workers, and corporate greed in shocking detail. The public reaction was so strong that it led directly to food safety laws and government reform. The book proved that exposing powerful industries can be just as controversial as breaking moral taboos. Operation Dark Heart. Operation Dark Heart was written by Anthony Schaefer, a U.S. Army intelligence officer. It is one of the rare modern books to be actively censored by the U.S. government. Shortly after publication, nearly 10,000 copies were recalled and destroyed because officials claimed it contained sensitive military information. The book details psychological operations during the war in Afghanistan and exposes internal failures, intelligence problems, and the emotional toll on soldiers. A heavily redacted version was later released, but the original became a symbol of how uncomfortable truth can be during wartime.